In 1946, I was born in a very remote village in Turkey. My father was engaged in farming. At the same time, he ran a small grocery store in the village. In those years, there was no primary school in our village. Children who wanted to study, he used to go to the neighboring village on foot. I was one of those children. When I was in the 3rd grade of primary school, news spread in our village. An old house would be repaired and turned into a school, and I finished primary school in my own village. But life was hard. Childhood ended early. When I was 11 years old, because there was no mill in our village, we would take the wheat to the mill by going through the valley to grind it. One day, I loaded a sack of wheat on the donkey's back. The road was steep. The rocks were sharp. While descending from the valley, the sack was constantly slipping. It was about to fall at any moment. I was scared. I was excited, but I didn't give up. Step by step, I took the wheat to the mill without dropping it. I had flour made, and I brought it back to our village. That day my father looked at me, and he appreciated me very much. After primary school, there were very famous village teacher schools around us. They would take students by exam. They would educate from the 6th grade to the 11th grade. They would send the graduates to the villages as teachers. So took this exam, and I won. But there was a problem. My father had to come and register me at the school. I sent a telegram to our village. I waited. 1 day passed. 2 days passed. My father didn't come. Days passed. The last days for registration were approaching. I understood at that moment my father wouldn't come. I also made a decision. I got into the bed of a truck loaded with apples, and I set off alone. First, I went to Kars. I stayed in a hotel with our villagers for 1 night in Kars. The next day, we went to Chulda. From there to our village, my father was very surprised when he saw me. "Why did you come?" he said. "Dad," I said, "I sent you a telegram." "You had to come." When he understood the situation, the next day he took me with him on horseback, and we went straight to the teacher's school. When my father met the school principal, he became very anxious. He spoke with great respect, because on that day he was handing over not only his son, a future. I won the school as a day student in the 1st year. The school was very far from our village. For a year, I stayed with a poor relative who lived in that village, in a place where there were cows, sheep, a horse, but I was very successful in my lessons. In the 2nd year, I won the boarding part of the school, and now I was a boarder. When I finished school, I was now a teacher. My first duty station was a village balu to the Bosca district of Konya. I had approximately 90 students. The first duty station was a village bala to the Bosca district of Konya. I had about 90 students. Then, military service. While doing my military service in Sivas, I taught reading and writing to soldiers who did not know how to read and write. After military service, I returned to my hometown. About 7 years, I worked as a teacher in different villages.